The Samsung Galaxy Note 20 Ultra is Samsung's brand new flagship device until they decide they want to release another phone, which shouldn't be too long. But at the moment, I think the Galaxy Note 20 Ultra is probably the best phone you can go out and you can pick up on the market at the moment. Like, if you went out right now and what is the best phone, the Note 20 Ultra is the phone to go for. Having said that though, here are 5 reasons why you shouldn't buy the Galaxy Note 20 Ultra. As good as this Note Ultra is, there's always reasons why you shouldn't go out and pick up the brand new flagship device on day one. So here are 5 reasons to why you shouldn't go and pick up this phone. And the first reason is the really obvious one. This phone is really expensive. It costs about £1,200 for that base model of the Note 20 Ultra, and that is so expensive. In a world where you can go out and you can pick up a really decent phone for £400, something like the Pixel 4a or the OnePlus Nord, should you really be going out and spending £1,200 on a brand new phone when those mid-range phones will do pretty much the same thing? I don't think there's many things that this Ultra does that if you picked up a mid-range phone you would miss, so I wouldn't say to someone, go out and spend £1,200 on this, because what the Pixel 4a and the Nord and the iPhone SE do is pretty much the same stuff. Yeah, I know you get 120Hz refresh rate on this phone, but OnePlus Nord you get 90Hz, and that's what, almost £1,000 cheaper than what this phone is. So this phone is ridiculously overpriced, and I wouldn't suggest to anybody to go and pick up this phone right now. With the second reason, this is the most annoying thing on this phone. It has the worst battery life on a flagship phone that I have ever seen. We'll exclude that Note 7 from this, obviously, because that caught fire. But so far, the Note 20 Ultra hasn't even got close to a full day's battery life. Like, I can get to 8 PM and it's on single-digit percentage, which it just isn't good enough for a phone like this. If you use this phone like a normal person, so you take some photos, you watch some videos, you then also go and play some games on it or whatever, if you do any of that, you're gonna have to charge it at least once before you get to the end of the day. And if you're spending £1,200 on a phone, you at least want the battery to last that entire day. That's, I think, now the minimum you expect from a flagship phone. This might only be the case in the non-US version, so in the UK, we get Exynos, so that obviously has some sort of problem with the battery, and that is almost like a reason 2.5 that you shouldn't be buying this phone, is that it comes with Exynos. Like, Don't ever buy a phone that comes with Exynos, it's rubbish. The phone comes with that 4,500 mAh battery, which, yay, but it doesn't mean anything when it can't last to a full day at all. Reason number 3 is that this phone is massive. Like, it's the biggest phone I've ever used. It's got a 6.9-inch display, and when you get it in your hand, like when you have it, holding it, look, it's huge. It's just the biggest display in the world. It sounds really good having this big display so you can watch films and you can play great games on it, but in real life it is just a little bit too big, and it makes using it with one hand impossible. There's just no way you could use this phone one-handed. If you wanted to message someone and you had like a shopping bag in this hand and you had your phone in this one, it's just not happening. So it just makes it really annoying. And it might sound like a really rubbish reason to not buy a phone because it is too big, but I just don't think anyone will be able to use it one-handed. And then when you're using it with two hands, the problem then becomes that curved display. So if it was a flat display, I don't think there'd be a problem with it, but because it curves around the edges just ever so slightly, it means you start to get like ghost touches on texts and stuff when you're trying to type out a message. So I'm always hitting P or an A or something, and it just makes me look really thick. Right, okay, next reason is the software on the Galaxy Note 20 Ultra. And Samsung's software is not great. So One UI is infinitely better than, remember TouchWiz? Remember when we had that? But obviously One UI is way better, but it's still just a little bit, I just don't like it. I found it to be really buggy since I've been using this phone, which has only been a couple of days, but I've had a couple of problems. Like, the main problem is swiping up to go home. It doesn't work all the time. So I could be inside an app, swipe up to go home, and nothing happens. It just totally freezes, which means the whole phone freezes. I can't do anything on it. I can't get to notifications. I literally have to reset the phone to be able to use it again. And And like, this is a flagship phone. This is meant to be the best phone that you can go out and pick up, yet I can't even swipe to go home. The other thing is just the amount of apps that Samsung already pre-install into this phone. Like, I've got all of the Google apps, I've got all of those Samsung apps, I've got Facebook already pre-installed on this. I don't want that stuff. Like, stop putting all that software on these phones. Like, this is £1,200. I want to be able to put what I want on the phone, not have to go through and delete a load of stuff before I can even use it. And then the last reason for not buying this phone is that camera. And not the camera itself, because actually that camera, it's incredible, it's really good, but it's that camera bump. Like, just look at it. It's so big and it's pretty ugly. And I get why it's so big. But one of the main reasons I think for a Note phone is so you can place it down and take notes with that S Pen. But as soon as you place this down on a flat surface, the phone is like all over the place. It's like an earthquake. It's horrible. It's almost impossible to use it on a flat surface. So if you want to take notes and you've got that S Pen out, as soon as you go to where that camera bump is, it just falls and everything just becomes messy. Trying to type on this one-handed or go back on certain stuff, it's just rocking. And I know people will say, oh, why don't you buy a case so it doesn't rock anymore? I don't like cases on phones. Cases on phones ruin what the design looks like. And I think it's really nice, this phone, and I don't want to cover it up with some rubbish 20 quid case from eBay. Just the whole rocking of this phone is really annoying, and I will never use it on a flat surface. And you can even hear it now on the flat surface. Listen to this. There you go, 5 reasons why you shouldn't go out and buy this Note 20 Ultra. Let me know in the comments whether you agree or disagree. I'll be interested to find out. If you enjoyed this video, then a sub to the channel would be amazing. That would really help me out. Also, if you can like it, that would be great. And until next time, see you later.